Darn it, Tanner.
Part 2, welcome! Legend of Zelda. This entire part is going to be dedicated to that, and we may actually go on into a third part for this.
Well, yeah, I'm way too hyped.
Yeah.
I am too hyped.
We'll try to keep it just down to 2 parts, but we may go into a third one, as in we probably will.
I got Tanner to get his Wolf Link amiibo full hearts, just for Breath of the Wild. Because he was going to go through with 3 hearts, and no, you need all the hearts and beat the Cave of Shadows without getting hurt. And so we have...
I cheated. I used an amiibo.
I think it's funny. They're like, oh, you paid $20, whatever.
But
now we have the beastliest wolf for Breath of the Wild possible.
So I went through the first section, and I didn't get hurt in that first section, so I saved it to the amiibo. And
apparently that counts for the whole thing.
Yeah, it was weird, and I feel like that's cheating. And so it was.
And I don't care.
And so I was full hearts, and so when I got to the end, it didn't let me save. Maybe it's because I used amiibos. I'm not entirely sure. We'll find out on day 1. And we will report our findings if anybody cares to listen.
I really hope that Sheik does something really cool.
Yeah.
Because the story revolves around the Sheikah bit with Breath of the Wild. That would be great. I really will be disappointed if it doesn't do something awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Only partially because that's the one I own. So are we going to go through the board again?
Yep. Alright, we're just going to read through first.
I'll read it again.
We're just going to read through all the points first, all the big bullets first, and then we will go back through and explain them. So, again, we have a lot, so we're probably going to...
we're going to kind of yammer on a bit.
Yeah. So, alright, go ahead, Paris.
Okay, first off, Skyloft is not Hyrule. They're at different parts of the world. Second off, the Goddess Blade is not the Master Sword. They're different. Third, the Minish are just crazy awesome. Then, the Uka are Hylia. I really like that one. That was all me.
Yeah.
Then we have the Dark Flames, ? And then we have Shadow Link. Then Oracle's connection to Golden Trio? ? Feyor the Oracle made a second Master Sword. Hyrule was created from a wasteland, not out of nowhere. Twinrova reincarnates and serves Ganon, not Ganondorf. There is a second hero in Ocarina of Time. And then Hero's Shade? ? The Gerudo have a different religion. And at this part, Avery, last time, he was pointing out that this is important to their culture, and it's just a bit he appreciates when people recognize. Then Ganondorf is a hero. That's Ganondorf, not Ganon. Phantom Sand is creepy. Rito are not Zoras. Triforce sends Link on missions. There's a second hero of the Child timeline. There's also a Picori hero. The Triforce... just Triforce Heroes, the game, is dark and evil. I don't know why they wrote evil.
Because I wanted to call something evil.
Yeah, we established that.
Yep.
Not this time. Then... There is more than one Temple of Time. Where are Gorons in Wind Waker? ? Turns out they just left because their mountains got crowded. Because in Spirit Tracks, apparently, they have Gorons.
And Phantom Hourglass. You always forget that one.
I do always forget that one. Because I thought I got further than I apparently did. So, I never saw Gorons. But apparently, I just did not get far at all. Okay. Where is Subrosia? It's kind of implied that it's under Holodrum, but you can only get there through portals, so we're not really sure. All of the heroes had lives before heroing, except Light Guy, crossed out Hero of Light. That was Tanner.
And it actually says all that. I spelled out except light guy, crossed out. I spelled that part out. I didn't just cross out light guy. I spelled out, crossed out, hero of light.
Yeah, it's weird. Who built the Ocarina of Time temples?
And we're not talking like the Temple of Time. We're talking like the Forest Temple, Fire Temple, Water Temple, so on and so forth.
Desert Colossus was the Gerudo, but
that's
Avery,
the Spirit Temple, though.
Avery, if you're gonna talk, you need to talk so the mic
oh
can
my
hear you.
goodness!
You're being background noise, and we try specifically to not have that. He was saying, what did he say?
He said that the one in the Gerudo Desert is the Desert Colossus, but it is still the Temple of Spirit. So.
And then the last one is, what the heck are gossip stones?
And so
we kind of talked about this one, and Tetra in Wind Waker, she's got the little green orb thing where she talks to you with that.
That's a gossip stone.
That's a gossip stone. So that kind of...
Or at least an imitation of one.
Yeah, it's a type of gossip stone.
Yeah.
And so the Ocarina of Time ones probably are communication devices as well, not records.
Yeah.
So there's another entity they don't tell you about.
Most likely some Sheikah somewhere that just hears everything.
Which is impressive and intimidating.
Yeah.
Probably Sheik. The one Zelda was copying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Let's do it. Let's go with the other one.
So, Sheik, not Zelda Sheik, but Sheik is a close to omniscient being. But they can't see everything, only hear it. Sure, totally.
Well, actually, that would make sense for why they're called the Sheikah, named after him.
Yeah.
And then Zelda was just like, oh, Sheikah, Sheik. I'm gonna be Sheik. Why?
Or she just saw... She could have just seen a picture. A legendary hero of the Sheikah, because she was going out to do legendary hero things, and I'll copy this guy.
And it was somebody that Link wouldn't know, too.
That
was another big thing. It was somebody that Link and Ganondorf wouldn't know.
So yeah, that kind of actually makes sense.
Yeah, it does. That's what most of this stuff is we're just saying random crap, and then we go through and say,
then we think about it.
This actually makes sense.
Wait a minute. It's like graphene. The closest we've gotten to making graphene, which is a superconductive material, where you can charge a battery in seconds to minutes, depending on how big of a battery it is. The way they kind of thought of how to make it was they were just goofing around. They had a piece of pencil graphite and they put tape on it and peeled it off, then again and again and again, and they were like, wait a minute, what if we did this with good equipment? Because graphene is graphite but only a single layer, so they're just stripping off layers. And they have made it, but what they're trying to do is make it accessible and to the point where we can mass produce it. That's the hard part.
That would be really cool.
But it's super cool.
Yeah.
And it's another thing that got discovered. It's a process that was discovered and developed because someone was goofing off.
Like pot stickers. Okay, so starting at the beginning, Skyloft is not Hyrule. This is a common thing, and it is considered canon by
their canon
the
is silly.
Historia.
They're close to the point of Kingdom Hearts where their canon is just getting nonsensical. So Kingdom Hearts does not make any sense.
So for those of you who have not played Kingdom Hearts, so they started off at one game, and they did not expect it to pick up like it did.
Because it's Disney game with Final Fantasy characters and a few original ones.
So
as an action RPG.
Yeah, so they were like, this is just something we're going to make for fun. They did not
your
expect
weapon
it
is
to
a
pick
key.
Up. And so when it did, they were like, alright, let's make a second one, and this one can still fit in.
And then they made more and more and more, and it just doesn't make sense
And
anymore.
at this point, there's time travel and time looping, and there's just back and forth of.
Once
it
you
doesn't
put in
make
time
sense.
travel that you weren't planning on, timelines just stop working.
Yeah.
Unless you're really, really, really good at it, which
Yeah.
is very, very, very rare. And I don't know if it's actually ever happened where they made
I haven't heard of anything like that.
a real timeline that's solid without inconsistencies, where they introduce time travel unintentionally. Well, without planning on it from the beginning.
Maybe One Piece will pull it off, but probably not.
There's not going to be time travel in One Piece.
Yeah.
Because that would be silly.
Have you
Okay.
seen
Maybe it's
some
gonna
of the
be
devil
one of
fruit
the devil
powers?
fruits.
I know, but it's going to be local time travel, time
Yeah.
leaping, if it is. It's not going to be like Time Lord nonsense.
Yeah. So Skyloft is not Hyrule. So according to the Hyrule Historia, when Skyloft crashed, all the people in there just like separated, and
They just kind of walked off.
and they became all the different races in Hyrule, meaning the Zora
Hey,
and
really?
I'm not sure about the Zora and the Gorons, but
Just the human descendants.
yeah. So some random red dirtbag with red hair is supposedly the
Common
ancestor
ancestor
of the Gerudo, and it's like,
which is silly.
he is an idiot. I don't want the Gerudo to be related to him. Also, how the heck is he a guy?
Red hair is a trait that can be suppressed through a lot of generations and just kind of happen. It's
Yeah.
not something that will stay or get bred out. It's just going to be there every once in a while, forever.
And then, also,
You know, probably.
again, I say, how the heck is he a guy? The Gerudo are a race that are all girls except for one guy every,
However many years.
I think, is 100 years, and he automatically becomes their king.
Which is some weird, weird magic going on.
Yeah.
That never
And
got explained.
So,
Twinrova.
Yeah, probably was Twinrova.
yeah. And so it's just like, first off, okay, so there's, I'm not sure how many years are between Skyward Sword and Ocarina of Time.
I don't know. They don't really tell you.
But, so, first off, according to their canon timeline, Minish Cap is, and as we've...
It's the first one after
Skyward Sword, and the Gerudo in Minish Cap are not an established race yet. So, first off, where the heck are they? And secondly, that means that, whatever curse was placed on them makes it so that they had to have been, for them to have known it was every 100 years. That means
Has
that
to be at least 200 years.
most likely 300 or 400 years, because
Once they say every, that you have to have bare minimum of 2, and 3 is the only point where it's reasonable to say every 100 years.
So, and I'm pretty sure that Minish Cap and Ocarina of Time don't have 300 years between them.
Why?
Well, just because, I don't know, there's not much, like,
Significant
between
differences.
yeah, there's no real significant differences. Like, well, actually, I guess it's possible. Actually, it does, okay, no, just disregard everything I just said, because I just realized. So, during Minish Cap, the Hyrule Unification War has not happened yet. Hyrule is an up-and-coming country, and the Unification War hasn't happened yet, meaning that the Gerudo have not been introduced into Hylian culture. So,
They're just another people.
yeah. So it makes sense for them to not be in Hyrule. But so we don't know if the magiciness has been put on them yet. If it has, then maybe it was back in Skyward Sword. So,
Oh, man.
But this one, so Paris had Paris brought this up when we were talking about it, and
what in the universe where they talk in the canon where they say that the Zoras, the ocean-living people, turned into the Rito, the bird people, in between few hundred and a few thousand years, is all the races in Skyward Sword disappeared.
Yeah.
And the humans didn't.
But
Also a lack of guns.
so Paris brought this up when we
I think
were
I said it
recording
better last time. I don't think I said it quite right.
He said he was saying that all these different races that exist in Skyward Sword,
that's
just on the surface, they're not gonna just disappear, and they're not gonna just evolve into something else.
If the humans didn't.
If the humans didn't.
If it's been long enough that those guys would change and the humans wouldn't, that doesn't make sense because the humans are not greatly equipped to deal with anything compared to the Zoras and the Gorons.
Yeah.
And they've stayed consistently human for the entire timeline. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's how you said it. So that's one of our big pieces of evidence for that. And also, if Skyloft crashed down, there would be a giant wasteland.
That was another thing, that it might be the same area on the Earth. Tanner pointed out that it might have just killed everything in the area. Like, all the humans, all the everything. And the Golden Trio comes in and kind of cleans up and makes the races again.
And they're like, well, that was a failed experiment, and they just start all over. They're like, reset!
They're like, darn it, Hylia, we told you to do a good job. And then everyone
I've
died.
looked into the reset button. The science is impossible.
So, then we have...
So, that's probably one of our weaker points, I'd say.
Which part?
No, just like the Skyloft not being Hyrule. That's probably the one point in here that we have the least evidence for.
I buy it. I mean, it doesn't make sense for it to be Hyrule.
I know, but I'm just
and the fact that that's our weakest point makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will not be
Maybe it's just because I've heard it twice.
But I've been convinced.
Well, not just twice, like 5 times, but we've recorded it twice, and it just seems forced right now just because we're trying to remember what exactly we said. Yeah, what exactly we said. But, wow, we spent like 17 minutes on that one point.
Well, we were also talking
about other stuff. So, okay, so the next point. Goddess Blade is not the Master Sword.
This one is weird. Like, why did they... Okay, we were talking about...
So, this was where we got to the Master Ore. It is canon that the Master Sword is made out of Master Ore.
And the sword that was upgraded and advanced through the game Skyward Sword is not made of Master Ore.
Yeah. And also...
Plus the fact that the Spirit Lady never communicates with any other hero ever.
Yeah. And then also we brought up the point of how the heck does Skyloft have enough metal for swords and knights in the first place? They don't have a mine on their island, so it would take them a good 3 weeks at least. Like, this is being a very generous estimate to get enough ore over there to purify it, smelt it, and smelt it, purify it, and then forge it. And well, the forging would probably add on more than just make it more than just those 3 weeks. The 3 weeks is just to get the ore, honestly.
Yeah. And then
plus just the fact that the Master Sword is a different color.
Yeah.
That gets brushed under the rug, and then people are like, this guy he's right-handed.
this Octorok is blue, so
And the
that
chew
town...
gels being all different and all this stuff. And just all these things brushed under the rug. Like, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then they grab minor details
Yeah. So
that actually don't matter.
yeah.
This Octorok is blue, therefore happiness is in the Gerudo Desert.
And evil. It's evil to be happy because this chew gel is blue.
Yeah. But
But
so
if it was
so
green, then...
in Skyward Sword, Link pulls out the Goddess Blade. He gets Fee Fi Fo Fum. However you say your name. I'm just gonna call her Fee Fi Fo Fum, because that's just fun to say. You go around and you collect the virtues of the Golden Trio, and you make the Master Sword after you get Zelda's blessing on it. And so that is how you supposedly make the Master Sword, and it does grant the Goddess Blade the power of Evil's Bane.
Because she's a magic princess, not the reincarnation of Hylia. Because Hylia didn't die, and that's just weird. Why doesn't she fight Demise if she's so powerful?
Yeah.
Because she's not.
So there's all that stuff, but we get into that stuff later in just a couple points actually. But
Yeah, that's going to take an hour.
yeah, but so you go around and you collect the virtues, and then you supposedly have the Master Sword, but that's
not the Master
it's not the
Sword.
Master Sword because
It's a different process. It's a different magic. It's different.
it's a different color.
It's a different special attack.
It's not the same
It's
sword.
not the same sword.
You're not going to convince any of us that it's the same sword. Maybe you are like totally convinced, and maybe there's something we're missing here.
But it's not the same sword.
This is probably also a good time to mention the Four Sword is another completely different sword, along with the Picori blade.
Yeah. So, if you're
Which is
like...
actually the next point we're starting to get into. The Minish are awesome.
Well, just one more thing.
Okay.
If you're gonna be like, oh, there's only one sword that has the power of Evil's Bane and stuff. No, there's not. There's like 4.
Yeah.
At least.
Yup.
That we know of right now. There's the Picori Blade, the Four Sword, the Goddess Blade, and the Master Sword. All of those are of Evil's Bane.
Here's another.
And there's another, the
Fairy Sword and the Fierce Deity Sword.
The Locomotive Sword, you said?
Yeah, the Locomotive Sword, the
which is
Phantom Sword.
Some of those are specifically targeting other evils.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. They're each designed to fight a specific evil. Vati, Demise, Ganon.
Four Sword has defeated Ganon.
It has?
It has.
Oh, okay.
In Four Sword Adventures, I believe.
The Four Sword is just stupidly powerful.
Yeah.
Because it was forged
It's-
by the Picori and...
Well, also, it's essentially 4 times more powerful than any of the others.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
This is never going to happen in any game, and this isn't even a theory, but I really want it to happen where a Link gets the Four Sword and the Master Sword and starts dual wielding.
Oh my gosh.
Because he would have 8 swords of Evil's Bane.
That would be great.
That would be beautiful.
Well, unless they are recognized by the Four Sword as being equivalent to the hero of the Minish, then they would not only be
They'd
dual
be able to-
wielding, but they would be stupidly tough already.
And they'd be able to instead of being split into 4 people that would fight separately, they would be a single consciousness. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read fantasy novels, but in a few of them, you have a your main character protagonist person gets a temporary
Become a hive mind.
superpower where they get to be like they get multiple bodies.
That was
But then-
that thing in Candy Shop War.
Yeah.
Was almost like that.
They get multiple bodies, and it's ridiculous once they practice with it.
It makes some fun fights
Yeah.
having that kind of thing going. it can be a really
I'm
fun
not
fight.
sure if Naruto does that. I know he can clone himself and can control one, and can control one, maybe two others individually.
I don't know.
But I'm not sure how many he's limited to, and if it is, he controls each one separately, or if he makes them for a specific purpose and then dismisses them. I haven't gotten too far into Naruto, but so if anybody's seen Naruto, that's kind of what we're talking about.
Not really though.
Not really. But so now we're to the Minish are awesome. So this has a few different
They're
sub-points.
so underused for how powerful they are.
Yeah. So they either serve or aid the Golden Trio. Like, so in Minish Cap, there's this story about the Picori Blade being delivered by tiny people messengers to the hero of the Picori. From like 100 years ago or so, and he takes the blade and vanquishes this great evil that was then sealed into a box with the Picori blade acting as the key. So either the Picori or Minish, they are on par with the Golden Trio and can make weapons as powerful as they can, or they helped the Golden Trio make it.
So yeah, I'm gonna stop right here because we're about an hour in, and we're gonna do another part because this is just so we can have it in pieces.
Yeah.
So yeah, end of part 2.